Three men with 3 decades of separation debate 3 tough choices every week. This is the Pick 3 Show. Welcome back to another episode of the Pick 3 Show, where each week the Pickmaster General delivers us a topic from which we must select our top 3 choices. With 3 decades of separation amongst the panel, it is not unusual to find debate, disagreement and derision regarding selections, but as we always say, there are no wrong choices, but there can be some awful opinions. So joining me in the unnerving surroundings of a prehistoric backdrop here at W5 in Belfast are my usual aged, even dinosaur colleagues, Gareth and Andy. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Martin.
Morning, Martin. Love the location.
It's spooky, isn't it?
It's quite noisy.
Good, yeah.
It is. Did you sneak in past the Velociraptor?
Well, listen, I wasn't going to pay in, obviously.
No, well, we can't talk about that. Sneaking in. But again, Velociraptor does make you nervous a little bit. Andy, were you okay getting in this morning?
I was, as you say, it was quite hard to find at times. Too many creatures in the way.
I know.
That's what I like.
Well, we're going to go to a hermetically sealed room in a little minute to do the recording. But today we are stepping outside. Oh, steady. Back. Today we are stepping outside of our normal panel to add an extra voice. If they can get here. It sounds positively lethal out there at the moment.
On?
I know.
He's lost control. He's
I know.
dinosaurs.
I think you just do want to. Did you notice on the way in the one-eyed dinosaur?
Didn't see him.
The Do You Think He Saw Us? Okay. There we go.
no.
So we're joined by an extra voice today, a listener who availed of the opportunity to be Pickmaster for a day and has selected a category that certainly made us all think a little longer than normal. She is the first female to achieve Pickmaster status and proudly tops the rankings as our most popular guest to date. A warm welcome to Victoria, who shows no fear of her surroundings, but has set the Pick 3 team a tough challenge. Morning, Victoria, and can you reveal today's topic?
Good morning, Martin. I certainly can. I just want to check, did you see the one-eyed dinosaur's dog when you came in?
No.
The Do You Think He Saw Us Rex?
That was better, Martin.
Yeah, it was
That
better,
a lot
Martin. Yeah, I
better.
like that.
Hang on, just for Victoria. Do you know?
Tell you, he's been programming round on his wee board here. You see this?
I don't
we
think-
lights up and all.
How many episodes we've had? Like,
Nah.
never seen that board.
Never done
get
that for
used as
us.
much.
Okay, close the door and let's get into the hermetically sealed room so we can actually get back to our normal conditions as Victoria reveals today's topic.
So today's topic is, what are your top 3 historical events you wish you could have witnessed live?
Ooh. Now that is it was a challenge. When that came in, we thought the only way we could do this was to also invite Queen Victoria in to actually do it with us. So we get a bit of historical perspective having a monarch with us today. So well done for coming back from the past to join us. But Gareth, you get to lead off with, what is your 3rd place historical event you wish you had witnessed in person?
History was never my big subject, Martin. Didn't even get it done for GCSE. So I didn't, or GCE O-level as I was. I was the last one, by the way, on O-level. But I had 3 options, and this wasn't an option until I had a discussion with my daughters on historical events, and some of them came up with things like the Alexandria Library burning down. But my youngest daughter came up with this one, and I had to steal it off her. It was so good. And my first historical event that I would have liked to have watched would be the caveman and his first sneeze.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm going to set the scene, right? Imagine all the cavemen.
You've broken Martin.
Broken Martin.
This is a serious subject we're going to do today.
But so this, I'd like to have seen this. So the caveman cave woman, cave children, and the cave dog all sitting around the fire, right?
Watching Netflix.
Watching Netflix.
Watching cave paintings.
On the stick.
Yes.
On it. And if I set the scene further, take the COVID scenario, right? Whenever people sneezed, right? And then all of a sudden, one of them sneezes and everyone either scarpers or the look of horror on their face as they look round at the caveman, the snot coming out of his nose, and they're going, what is this? What is happening here? I think it would be pure comedy gold because they would not know what is going on. They'd be scarpering out the cave. And so there's the big dinosaurs out there, the lot. And I'd love to know what they did next. That is my event.
You've painted the picture very well.
I think he's obscured the cave paintings. He sneezed all over them. I was doing some great cave painting work, and then I sneezed, and it just all ran all over the wall. Dreadful.
Our listeners have downloaded. It's a Friday morning. They're on their way to work. They're thinking, well, Battle of Hastings, World War One, World War Two, and we hit them with the humour early. I like it.
Well, we hit them with our version of humour. What is interesting is that somebody did sneeze for the first time ever at some point.
Yeah.
But I find it hard to believe that they didn't sneeze until the family was grown up enough that they had kids as well. And then suddenly one day, you
never know.
What the heck was that?
No.
Well, I think that was important for a pictorial representation in Grey's Anatomy's textbook. I had to have the whole family there for the moment.
Oh, right, okay.
I see.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, yeah.
You're trying to apply logic to the complete illogical answer.
Yeah.
Well, Gareth, it's a brilliant third choice. I'm glad you declared that it was given to you by your daughter.
It was given to me by my daughter.
Just to confirm, that wasn't close to first.
It was close to first, but I thought it'd start off with it. My daughter Alexandra killed herself laughing whenever she told me, and I thought, I am stealing this.
To come with an original gag would be unusual. At least you got your script writer to write one for you.
If you had 1,000 guesses, would you have guessed that?
1,000?
Victoria?
I wouldn't have guessed it in 65 million years.
Oh, a nice 65 million years reference.
And it comes.
Anyway.
Good start.
No, it's not a good start. It's a start, Andy. What historical event? Let's hope it's historical.
So
here.
number 3 for me is going back to cave. No, joking. So number 3, we're 1977. We're sitting at Heathrow Airport. I'm sitting there in my suit and tie, ready to go. See my friend Martin there. Martin's sitting there with his wee flask of tea because he's too tight to pay for the airport coffee. He asks, Andy, where are you going? Going to New York. Oh, I'm going to New York as well. Are we on the same flight? I said, no. I'm on the inaugural flight on Concorde. London to New York, November 2nd, 1977.
Can you just check, is Martin going probably to Paris, then to Denmark, to whatever, to get the cheapest route?
I think so,
right,
yeah.
okay.
He says he's arriving sometime tomorrow evening. But Concorde for me, first transatlantic commercial flight, 1977, to be on that, to see it. The slight fear of trepidation.
Wasn't. You're incorrect.
First transatlantic commercial.
You've got him, Andy, don't worry.
Not first.
Incorrect. You're still incorrect.
Are you thinking Paris to Rio?
No. It is the first supersonic transatlantic flight.
Oh, it's the terminology.
Come on. What do you think my job on this podcast is but to keep us on the right? It is the first supersonic commercial flight to New York. You're absolutely right.
So 1977, number 3 for me. Now, it pushed out some ones that I actually thought would have been quite interesting, but quite debatable on this podcast. Was Patterson Gimlin, 1967. Do you know what they're famous for?
No.
Bigfoot sighting in the Rockies.
Oh.
Okay. Not so much a historical event as a fictitious episode.
That's why I thought I don't want to rile them too early.
No, and I get that, but again, I quite like that. Have you ever been on Concorde?
Never.
You ever been?
No.
Never.
You ever been on Concorde?
I have been inside it.
Good answer. Because I've been on Concorde, but again, only while it was on the ground. Duxford in Cambridgeshire. There's one of the Concords is based there, and you can go and walk down. It is tiny.
Really?
It is very tiny. Flight deck of the USS Intrepid.
Yeah.
I was on Concorde.
Oh, I've been on it's on New York, isn't it? Yeah, I've been on that. I must have been in Concorde then as well. Because they had the old stealth bomber there as well.
You should remember it's the pointy one that's sitting over at the side. It's quite noticeable. You know,
I can't remember it for some reason. Why did I not get that?
It hasn't
I was
been
on
there
that.
all the time.
Maybe you just sneezed and your eyes were all blurry.
Yeah, exactly. Pollen was high that day.
That was it. A solid starting point. Number
I think
3.
that's a good
Alright,
solid
got
start
it.
point.
That's a win.
That's a win. I think that's good. Vic.
Okay, so August, the month of August, or the word August, is going to play a role in all 3 of my picks. So my number 3 pick is August 9th, 1588, watching the Spanish Armada from the English coastline and witnessing Queen Elizabeth's speech at Tilbury. Imagine the scene. You're looking out over the cliffs. The crescent formation of this Spanish Armada is coming towards you. And the fear and trepidation that must have been around at that time. And then you just see Queen Elizabeth, all in white, on her horse, giving this amazing speech to rile the troops. I just think it would have been incredible to witness that moment in time.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. It would have been. One of the things when I was doing my picks, I was very conscious of was not arriving into a scenario where loads of people were about to die, which was the thing about the things you'd like to see in person.
Yeah.
As opposed to historical events that maybe fascinate you for other reasons. So again, I kind of shied away from that. It's good to see that you didn't.
Well, I thought Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth, I keep the regal thing going.
Yes, well, no, I get it.
Anyone who knows
Stick
me
with your ancestors.
like it.
Good start.
No,
Yeah,
anyone
I like
who
it.
knows
where
me
you were
knows
brought up.
I'm fascinated with Tudor history, so I think that, and also like 130 ships just in a crescent formation, and this would be a moment when you could see that without having to worry about the spectacle of the full-on naval battle that's about to happen.
No, I get that. And I mean, again, it's a very solid historical choice. It's a historical event.
It's the one our listeners, when I asked them this question, they said, are we there for a day and we can leave, or are we there and we live in that duration? It's a really interesting one because there's certain ones like Victoria's you go, right, I'm out of there. I want to see a day or maybe get out. Where's yours, the caveman?
And are you just watching where the gold all goes down then so you can get it later, Victoria?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I like that.
And I also like that there's a bit of family drama in this moment as well. Just your brother-in-law has sent his armada against you, so anyone with a little bit of sibling rivalry in the...
Yeah.
I see where that could be going. That could work well. I understand that. Yeah.
I've had plenty of Spanish Armada fights.
That's one way to say it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's always the best. You must have had one just after you bought that Boxster. Anyway. Okay, that takes me to my first pick. And I'm going to take you to Cheviot Beach near Portsea, Victoria, Australia, on the night of the 17th of December 1967. Because I'd like to solve a mystery, a real mystery, not a Bigfoot sighting, a real mystery. And this is the mystery of Harold Holt's disappearance. Now, Harold Holt was the Prime Minister of Australia who disappeared and nobody ever knew what happened. Nobody was ever recovered. Now, he was bizarrely declared dead 2 days later. They didn't hang about. They declared him dead 2 days later. It was generally agreed that Holt's disappearance was a simple case of accidental drowning, but nobody was with him. Nobody knows. And he was a regular sea swimmer. So in Australia, lots of things could have happened. But when you do a little more research, there are a number of conspiracy theories that surfaced. Most famously, the suggestion is that he was a spy for China and had been collected by a Chinese submarine. Now, there is a book called The Prime Minister Was a Spy by a British writer, Anthony Gray, and the book's premise is that Harold Holt, Prime Minister of Australia from 1966 to 67, was a lifelong spy for the Chinese government under both the nationalist and communist regimes. And he disappeared, was never heard of again. So if I was standing on that beach watching, I could see what happened. Yeah. And that would be a mystery solved.
Not a
But would it happen to you too?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Can we recreate that?
Who knows? People, little harsh.
People in the know
Forgot my time machine.
know what happened anyway.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
You think they do?
Can't say anymore.
Did you find that out at a recent dinner party?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He was no security around him.
No, he went
Nothing,
out on his own from his house onto the beach and was never seen again. But he's the serving prime minister of a country. I just think that's an outstanding mystery as to what on earth happens, because
clerk
these days it
dead
would
after 2
never.
days.
But that's the point,
Yeah,
which makes you wonder.
Is there something
Yeah.
in you?
Makes you wonder.
Totally. Totally.
Anyway, that's my number 3.
Love it.
Number 2, Gareth.
Number 2 for me, whenever I picked it, I thought, oh, this will be great. But whenever I researched it a little bit more, it definitely went down a little bit, but I'm still going to put it in. I'm going
It's
back.
at number 2.
Number 2, yeah. Only because I sort of swapped her a few round or whatever, because I wanted to get the sneeze in quickly. I'm going back to 776 BC, the first ever Olympics.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
Something that started 2,800 years ago and has kept going ever since, which I think is just amazing. Although it was only one race, that was the disappointing part on it. It was a 200-meter running race. So it was. That's it.
That was the entire Olympics.
That was it.
It's a bit
No
rubbish.
javelin throwing or spear throwing or the
Discus.
heptathlon, or it was only one race. But it wasn't just a foot race. It was humanity discovering the idea of organised, peaceful competition for glory. Not for money, so it is for glory. And you would witness one of civilization's first shared global experiences, because this then, as you know, goes thousands of Greeks that travelled across city-states, etc., to compete in these games that declared peace for the time during it. And every athlete was not competing for money, but for this eternal glory. And as you know what glory was back in those days, you'd see real individuals risking injury, dishonour, triumph for their cities. And the winner's reward, immortality in poetry and sculpture. I'd take the sculpture. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, sculpture would be me as well. I
Aye.
like that.
You two would want the poetry, wouldn't you?
I'm guaranteeing you'd overcompensate on the statue.
Creative license.
But the best thing about this is this was the seed for. I wonder will you cut that out?
He won't.
So this was the seed for all future competitions, whereby they brought about the World Cup, all the major competitions where they bring people together to find out the very best across the world.
It's also interesting because there's lots of points in history, aren't there, where sport has enabled a cease of fighting or something to enable that
World
to
War.
happen. Yeah.
World War One, the football match.
Yeah.
Well, World War II, was it Hitler that one, wasn't it?
No, Hitler had his games ahead of World War II. His was the
right.
1930s, and that was the famous Jesse
Jesse
Owens.
Owens.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Hitler wasn't wildly chuffed that Jesse Owens was winning gold medals. But I'm going to take you up because my job as the pedant.
Now, I haven't gone to it in that much detail. I know that you were internet surfing for Ireland or whatever I was on that.
I wasn't. I haven't touched the keyboard. The Olympic Games, unless I'm mistaken, were brought back in the late 19th century.
Yes.
There had been a huge, 1,500 year gap between
Right.
Olympics, which is now it's only 4 years, but that 1,500 years was probably.
I didn't know that.
I think you're right, but I mean, the first Olympics 200-meter race is hardly going to.
But it is Dean.
Imagine having
Oh,
that.
it is. No, I get it. It's the genesis of the idea.
Yeah.
Imagine,
back
imagine
at Genesis.
having that record for that long between
know.
the first and the second Olympics.
No.
I know. That would be that would be immortal because But
Be
anyway,
carved in stone.
yes. Was it in an actual stadium and was it round a track or was it in a straight line?
I haven't gone into that detail. The encyclopedia.
Was it uphill? Was it uphill or downhill?
This
there we're
Encyclopedia
going.
Britannica that I
Asphalt
bought.
or that nice
the
new
salesman
running track
had-
type stuff?
Like somebody chat GBT. That.
Yeah, the salesman hadn't come back to sell me the next volume, so that's why. I
Oh,
didn't,
he hasn't. He didn't get past that. Okay. Listen, again, an interesting choice. Would have been fun to watch.
Interesting yours was. Mine was good.
Yeah.
I don't even think you rated Victorious.
No.
I did.
I guarantee that'll be the case going through this week. Until maybe gets my number one choice.
Oh, well, we'll wait and see. Right. I'll try and be more enthused. I'm still being polite.
Just hit him a slap.
Andy.
Number 2, April the 2nd, 1912. I'm standing in Belfast docks. Titanic leaves through Belfast Lock. My only challenge is in my view, have I been working on the boat or have I been standing watching the men work? So from a historical moment.
Based on my knowledge of you. You were standing
So
watching
we know the
somebody.
answer.
So I was
Giving
also
direction, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. I was also debating whether Belfast Docks would be the good area or around the Gold Coast where I live, around Carnley
God,
direction,
he had to get
sitting
Bangor.
there.
I'm
Bangor.
just realizing what you actually did.
What's that?
Because you're the marketing guru. You sent out the pamphlet, the Titanic, the unsinkable boat built in Belfast. You ran the marketing campaign.
Oh yes, I got my money and then left. But yeah, I think, joking aside, just seeing, obviously when you look at the size of Titanic now compared to some of the cruise liners
It's
that
quite
come
small.
in. Yeah. But just at that time to see it going and the people lining the shore and seeing all, I think it would be a fantastic thing. So it was a number 2. I think it was a good solid pick. What do you think, Martin?
He's always so looking for my affirmation of his picks.
But it's like a dad and son.
Victoria, what do you think of Andy's pick?
I think that's an excellent.
Oh,
pick,
excellent.
yeah.
We've got an excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Victoria. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. Playing to my audience.
In fact, if you can work the podcast machinery,
Yeah, that's a bonus.
What other sound effects do you have on there?
One is rarely loved in one's own lifetime. You know, that's why you have to get Greek immortality so that
True.
people love you for years
and
later.
the statue.
Whenever I was, the way I do these is I think of them like gut feeling, what are my 3, and then go into Google, and I don't want to see them on Google. I'm like, I want mine to be slightly different and unique. Titanic, number 3 or 4 in all these list moments that you want to watch. But actually all of them are leaving Southampton. There's very few of them actually leaving Belfast.
Well, as I say, it went from Belfast to Southampton. It was fine.
Right, yeah.
And the captain took the ship across the Atlantic, and what happened happened. And there's still a huge debate as to whether or not it was an error, true error on behalf of the crew rather than the ship. But it's just the way the ship was hit and split. You know, so it's,
They actually can't work out how they didn't even see it coming to them.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
no, this is why they're saying they're not even sure if what was the actual reason that they got such a late warning, because
Yeah.
it wasn't exactly the most dangerous route
No.
that they were taking, but just to hit an iceberg. Anyway,
I've
Victoria.
an interesting connection to that because my husband's great uncle, I believe, was supposed to be the captain of the Titanic.
Was that right?
He was much better.
Yeah. Well,
Much
I
better.
guess we'll never know.
I would have given him the job.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Okay. Your second
Okay,
choice.
second choice, August 28th, 1963. The steps of the Lincoln Memorial, Washington, D.C. for Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. So 100 years after Lincoln gets up at Gettysburg to give his Gettysburg address, Martin Luther King stands up at the Lincoln Memorial in D.C. demanding those ideals become real. Can you imagine being part of that 250,000 person crowd? Just most of them ordinary people there to really not just protest, but also to believe in something. And something about that event was actually, it was so spontaneous. He wasn't actually supposed to speak about a dream that day. A gospel singer in the crowd shouted out to him, "Tell him about your dream, Martin." And that's what spurred that whole event.
When we were putting this podcast together, Andy and Gareth both said, "Martin, tell us about your dream to have a podcast." Doesn't have the same impact, does it?
No. And, I'm not sure, like Martin Luther King, if you're risking your life to do this podcast.
There are times working with these two, it
May
feels
feel
like that a
like
little
it,
bit.
yeah.
But again, that's one of the iconic moments, and it occurred within my lifetime. Obviously, all of the rest of you are too young to remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember it from live because it's I was very young at the time, but it is one of those moments, and I wasn't quite sure whether or not when you started out there you were also going to be maybe on a grassy knoll,
Yeah, I
trying to find out
Yeah.
whether or not where did that shot come from, knowing that it was coming.
It did pop into my head as one of mine. I was thinking, where would I stand though? Would it be behind the shooter or behind JFK?
And I suppose that's it, of all
Wouldn't
those
it be in
people that
front of
witnessed it.
JFK, would it, Andy?
I could jump. I could know what's coming, Martin. My quick reflexes.
I don't think so. But anyway, no, I think that's
Matrix moment.
that is a really strong choice because I think that would be a Goosebumps moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what one or two of these are, is things that, I mean, my final two, my first one was more out of intrigue. My next two are very much goosebump moments that, as far as I'm concerned, they would be spectacular to be at. So I can fully get that one.
Yeah, and it just beat out watching Apollo 11.
Yeah.
That was the sort of
Good one.
the choice.
I have to admit, my knowledge of American history is not good. So it's not because, in the school curriculum, it never appeared.
Yeah.
Did you
Might
get a
have
lot of
appeared
stuff
in our
about?
school curriculum.
Yeah. Beard.
Yeah.
Did you get? Did you
We
get a lot of
Irish
stuff?
history in Constantinople. It was around.
That wasn't in Ireland.
I would suspect you got a lot of stuff about cavemen.
No,
Hence your fascination.
It was all no. We're well past that. There, it was all First World War history, Irish history, that type of stuff, and it wasn't particularly captivating. I didn't do it for GCSE, so therefore, I don't think we made the Second World War. Did you do it?
Yeah, different GCSE.
And was the Second World War
Civil
at GCSE level?
Yeah, it was American Civil War and Sullivan.
Yeah, European dictators, the
We
Roaring
didn't get that.
20s through to the Civil War.
Yeah.
It's only in later life I've become more interested in history, but I need to get more interested because I don't really know a lot of the details. Not Martin Luther King one. I know about I Have a Dream, and I have the picture
And you have
of
some
it.
pretty vague knowledge of the first Olympics.
Aye, exactly.
That's good.
But
It's a bit of a
I told you something you
1500-year
didn't know.
gap there.
I didn't know the 1500-year gap.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's at least that.
Did you know that, Andy?
I did not know.
That's okay. I've
We
always
learned
liked it.
something.
Okay. My number two choice is actually, it's kind of split. And I would take either of these, but they're on the exact same vein. And that is to be in the control room for either the Apollo 11 landing on the moon or the return of Apollo 13. Both of those, I think, to be in the control room and have all of that tension around, and yet knowing that there's a good outcome coming to all of it, because there is a spectacular moment. Apollo 13, apart from anything else, and I am very, very lucky. I have met Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon, and I've also met Commander Jim Lovell, the commander of Apollo 13, and both gave talks that, honestly, you could hear a pin drop. It was just the most outstanding evening on both occasions, listening to them. And the Apollo 13, one of the weird little facts that has always stuck in my head, they had a water leak. And a water leak anywhere else is not a problem. But if you're in space and it's floating as a huge big globule of water, they had to wrap it gently in a towel, unwrap the towel so that you don't split, because if you break it up, all the little droplets will go in behind the electronics. And it took them about 5 hours to get rid of this, having to wrap it, unwrap it, and then squeeze it into a plastic bag, and then do it again and again and again until they got rid of the water that was floating around. But the whole thing about both of those is the moment in the return of Apollo 13 where the astronauts are out of radio contact and it goes silent, and it's meant to go silent for 2 to 2.5 minutes, and they stay radio silent for over 4. Now, I remember watching that live at home. I have a very particular memory of my father's reaction to that. And it was the most tense television because there was no commentators. They just waited and waited and waited. And all you heard every so often was from control, basically them trying to call the astronauts. And then eventually a voice came through. I think that being in either of those would be spectacular. And sorry, a very quick final story, because Neil Armstrong told the story that when you're on the moon, they reckoned they had a 50-50 chance of landing successfully on the moon and a 10% chance of leaving.
Really?
And the way you left was because the lunar module had one engine and it had a red button on basically on the dashboard of the lunar module, and you flick up a switch and you press the red button, and if the engine fires, you go home, and if it doesn't fire, that's it. So again, a truly historic moment, both of those. So I would take either of those. I've sort of merged those two.
What? Apollo 11 was what?
They landing on the moon 1969.
Okay, what was Apollo 13?
It was the one that attempted to go to the moon but had a major failure, and they had to use the lunar module to help power to get them back to
Tom Hanks
Earth.
did a movie about
Oh, yeah, that one.
Did you miss the space program?
Yeah, is it? But,
Okay.
and the reason why I've got two questions on it. One, do you like this here? Because you said control quite a lot. So I thought
Very
that's where it's
Freudian.
coming from. Yeah, control. I want to be in the control room. I have to be in the control room. Not watching TV, but I'm in the control room. So that's one thing,
I
right?
think that'd be a good job for you,
Second,
Martin. You
yeah.
missed that in the jobs episode.
Secondly, I've always questioned.
Oh, you're not, are you?
I am. Do you know why?
Hang on a second.
Why haven't they went back?
Yeah, why haven't they went back many times to
good.
the moon?
Right. Well, actually, Neil Armstrong answered this question when I was talking to him.
Right?
And I feel that's a pretty good authority for it, because he got questioned that night as well by somebody raised the question. They said, you didn't really go to the moon, did you?
Oh, someone asked
Somebody asked him directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the audience, you could hear an audible intake of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this could get really, really awkward. And Neil Armstrong said, you're one of them. He said, over 350,000 people were involved in sending us to the moon. We would have had to lie to all of those people. We'd have to, so many people would know that we didn't leave, that we didn't get on a spaceship, we didn't fly out of there, we didn't spend days coming back.
And I'm with that, but why do they not go back?
Well, this is his answer then, because then
sorry.
he was asked as the second point is, will we go back? And he said, no, because we're not prepared to take the risk anymore. And if you think about what happened to think about the space shuttle and once the Challenger and the other one blew up, they cancelled the program. They weren't prepared to keep taking the risk.
Elon Musk goes up and down so many flights per
Every
week.
Thursday at
literally,
8. Yeah.
literally. You know, and the thing is,
People plan them.
and he relands the.
Where does he go?
rockets.
It's that
Where
way
does he
of
go?
defining space, isn't
Yes.
it?
Where
Katy
does
Perry?
he go?
No, he goes up to the
goes-
space station.
He goes no higher than the space station. What height is the space station above the Earth? It's less than 250 miles, and I'm thinking that it's less. It's less than that.
But if they want to do the Mars journey that they talk about, you can hit the moon a few times quickly. It's like going across to England rather than America.
They said from a PR point of view that Katy Perry stunt of going up to space
Yeah.
Backfired.
showed so many people that what was wrong, what space actually was. I'm doing these inverted commas.
The thing is about going to the moon, there are 12 men who have stood on the moon. And the last man to stand on the moon was an engineer by the name of, his surname was Zernin. But he had said he stood on the moon looking at the Earth, realizing he would never experience such a moment again, crying within his. And then he said,
What year was that?
back. Oh, that was, the moon landings were done by like 73 or 74.
Like,
Putin said a few years ago that he was going to send men to the moon again. I think just to rile the Americans, but
He hasn't done it.
yeah,
no.
not that we know of.
Neil Armstrong talk about his famous saying when he came off and landed?
He did.
Walked on the moon, and how that came about.
Yes, he did.
What did he say about it?
He said spectacularly that somebody said, did you become first man on the moon by saying to Buzz Aldrin, he said, you wouldn't just reach something off the shelf over there.
And then run out.
And then he opened the door and jumped out and got the chance for the epic moment. And he just laughed because somebody said, he just said, no, it's very, very simple. I was the one beside the door.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
And it is that tight. There was no chance anything else.
very humble.
You know that he had been an American fighter pilot and shot down on 3 occasions in Vietnam
Didn't know that.
Yes.
or Korea. I think he was shot down in the Korean War. So not
You
Vietnam.
haven't seen Hidden Figures? It's a great movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen it yet. Very
Yeah,
good.
Very good.
Very good.
To any of you out there that don't believe men landed on the moon, shame on you. It is one of the most monumental things humankind has achieved.
The aliens will let them back in a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they get the phone line for ET to phone home again and say, would you let them go? Your number one choice,
My
Gareth.
number one. Well, I really wanted to put Liverpool versus AC Milan and the comeback from 3-0 down, but I thought I better widen my perspective a little bit on this here.
It's a historical event. Victoria was very clear when she wrote it.
I know.
If that hadn't have been in the sporting moment, you probably would have added it.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't scared of you. I was more scared of Victoria then on this one here, to tell you the
Wait
truth.
till you hear my number one pick.
So I'm going back 70,000 years ago. I like to go real back in time on this, to when Homo sapien man decided to migrate from Africa. So this is really playing into the desert island thing, Martin. I would take you with me. Right. So I would,
need to.
because I want to survive on that there. Andy, you're
gone.
coming. Good time. Victoria, you've got to give your credentials now, what you're bringing to the desert island on that there, whether you're going
She's
or
certainly
not.
bringing something that the three of us won't be able to bring.
Yeah. Aye. Martin's one of those moods today, isn't he? Anyway, genetic studies suggest only a very small group left Africa, possibly just a few hundred individuals. And I'd love to be witness what decided them to do it? Because this shaped the DNA of all of us for the future. So there's, I mean, a few of you.
Might have just been a bad spell of weather, and they felt like going somewhere
Aye,
warmer.
well, Africa.
Well, it
Where's the
mightn't have
bad
been-
spell of weather?
It might.
Well, there's massive migration of animals in Africa.
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
year.
Maybe they were following the animals.
Aye, well, who knows?
The elephants turned left. Well, we'll go right then.
They actually
Yeah,
say
they're a bit
this
hard to
was
eat.
one of the most important genetic events in human history. And I often tell Andy the story. I mean, have you ever done that 23andMe test to see your DNA?
Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, yes, I've done that. And
There goes
I
one of our
died off.
sponsorship
Yeah,
opportunities, Martin.
exactly. That's gone.
Christmas
Yeah,
present out the window.
Says we're,
Although it sounds like a really good idea.
it is, you'll really like it, and it tells you where your background is from. Like as Andy knows, I'm 1% Italian, so it comes out. In
Is that the bit that likes statues?
no, it's the bit like pasta. So, anyway, but they say this is the most important genetic event in human history. They left the land they knew and entered unknown environments filled with predators, harsh climates, dangers, and they decided to go up to Europe. You'd witness humans innovating, making the tools. They wouldn't have your Amazon next day delivery stuff that you picked, Martin. At least Andy's mind could have been made. Creating language.
Sorry. I think that would be the first thing they'd do is create footballs.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
would
Joe,
be.
that'd be on the boat with him.
And the hammock.
That hammock and the
The fishing line.
The fishing line.
100%.
I think the fishing line, probably a fishing line of some description.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you can imagine it developing the cooperation, adapting to new worlds. Think of simple things. Crossing a river. Right? How did they cross rivers? No bridges built those days or whatever. How did they do that? Fire. How did they make it? How did they bring fire with them to do it? Infants, did they go? Man, woman, obviously went.
Well, I think they'll have had to, otherwise it'll have been a fairly short migration.
Exactly. And there wouldn't
Because
have been
if
that much development.
If a mummy migrant and a daddy migrant love each other very much, then you can repopulate.
Exactly. But I think this would be a fascinating watch. And I do think I maybe stretch the event a little bit long, but I'd love to do the old David Attenborough commentating on it, watching it.
Yeah.
They'd be looking
fair.
at you going, who's the bloke with the camera and what's a camera?
Maybe play football with him.
What's he got all over him? He's not naked. I thought today was Naked Tuesday.
For regular listeners, you'll realise that's at least the second reference to that particular concept in recent weeks. And okay, it's a historical event, and it's an important historical event. I think actually, after you'd been sitting watching it for a couple of hours, you might have gone, I'm actually a bit bored now. They're just kind of like walking north.
Oh, they're all doing stuff for the first time, finding food, be like a big life on Earth, David Attenborough, because they have to kill the beast, bring it home, pick the berries, see all the different animals. It'd be like watching.
I get why you're fascinated by it, and you know, with that, I think it might be the 1% Italian in you that makes you curious to this sort of a thing.
Does.
Whereas
Remember, we tumbly rumbling and all going, oh, we haven't had this here before. What's that?
it's called hunger.
Yeah. Or you know when you travel and you drink the water? Exactly.
That's it.
Sorry.
Spain for your holiday.
You said this was one of the most important genetic events in history. Is it a long list or?
What do you mean?
He won't know.
That's another
Oh, no.
episode.
He won't know.
Oh, no.
The research only went to that point.
Did. I couldn't fit in too much more on it.
Okay.
I think it's a solid pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Och, you're just far
Solid.
too nice.
You said interestingly. Interesting pick.
Yes, it's an interesting pick. That covers a myriad of things.
does.
Doesn't mean I think it's a great pick.
I don't want
It's just,
interesting for Martin.
No, no,
you know. Yes, interesting.
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
No, but you like to see it.
interesting.
I love to see it.
Right. Well, again, a line of people walking north. It sounds like
He sums it up perfectly.
hard to see where the excitement wouldn't be in
Yes.
that.
I want to see it.
Oh yeah, look, there's another one. Oh, here come. Oh, wait,
That one fell down.
he's going north as well.
Should we put 100 of them?
Right. Okay.
Tag them to follow them afterwards.
The geotag had them on.
Geotag.
Sorry, no, it was the Apple iPhone tag.
Oh, yeah.
Face
Face recognition.
recognition, yeah.
Find my migrant.
Yeah.
Get the feeling there'll be a lot of editing this episode.
Exactly.
I'm not even sure. Andy, what's your number one pick for a historical event you would have liked to see in person?
2500 BC.
Oh, flip's sake, guys.
The final stone goes on the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Oh, actually, that's a great pick.
Great
That is
pick.
a great pick.
Not even interesting. You get great.
Actually,
That almost
I
made
would've-
my list.
I would have wanted to be a bit earlier than that. Because
see how
I
it
want
was
to
made?
see how they started. The
Yeah.
final stone going on, by then they've got it down. But how did they build the pyramids?
I'd be there pointing, going, up there, lads. Well done. That's me.
Left a bit,
Because
left a bit.
remember you wanted to be a builder as your perfect
did.
job.
I was one of
No,
my-
but he's got the wheelbarrow and moving the rubble.
But
He does 1,000 barrows a day.
That's right.
But the
Barney Rubble?
Yeah, but the bit that fascinates me about Barney Rubble, the bit that fascinates me about this, as you say, like engineers today look at that and they don't know how it was built. There's the pulleys and ramps they think might have been
Water.
Yeah, and it's like, just how was it built? But more importantly, I think there was research a couple of months ago about the underground cities they'd found under the Great Pyramids through laser technology. So to be part of that now, historical moment standing there when the final block went on. But as you say, Martin, the period of seeing how it was built would be fascinating.
Yeah, and that's why it didn't make my list, because I
Period?
it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an event.
See, that definition was
specific event.
hard because even my migration.
That's why-
of men.
The final block goes on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Here's some trivia for you, Martin. See if you know this. It was the tallest building in the world for 4,000 years. And then what was the building that
Oh, look here.
claimed it?
ChatGPT, Alexa, what was the tallest building?
It's quite an interesting one, actually. It surprised me.
That's a good point.
He hates that he doesn't know that. You know?
I do hate that. I don't know this.
He hates that he doesn't know
I
that.
do wonder, is it something in the Mayan civilization?
Lincoln Cathedral.
I was going to ask, was
Really?
it a
Lincoln
church?
Cathedral, yeah.
Lincoln as in
Is it
England?
Lincoln, yeah. Lincoln Cathedral.
Really?
There's your fact for today.
It is indeed. I'll
He'll
be
be
fact checking
down
that later.
And then we'll start our next episode. There was a point in one of our previous episodes about the biggest building in the world. I'd just like to correct Andy on something.
Alexa, can you tell me the detail?
Top 3 cathedrals in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those ones as a pick was very easy. I think without going down the conspiracy theory route and how it was built, we could go from your aliens from the moon landing as well, Martin.
I did hear it was aliens.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what you heard.
I threw that out. It was like a fishing line. I just knew he would take that.
Was it in one of your cave paintings that was a bit blurred? Oh, it looks a bit like an alien because there's some green stuff. Oh, no, that's something
all right.
else.
He
Have you
sneezed
seen
earlier.
the pyramid at Giza?
No, never seen, never been.
You probably have.
I have been to Egypt, but I haven't seen the pyramid. I've seen
What?
Luxor Temple, Karnak, that sort of thing.
What is the
but
point of going to
My-
Egypt and not seeing the pyramids?
Really a real disappointment.
Yeah, do you know what? My wife's seen them and she said, you walk to them and there's just people selling stuff everywhere and like hard sell everywhere. Buy this, buy this. It's just the experience is
Ruins the
very poor.
moment.
Did she go without you whenever you were on the desert island?
She must have. I don't know what happened there.
No, it was
I'll have
when
to
he
check.
was in the national park.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
in my wee
You
fire
were working.
workout.
That's working. And I was driving past the old fighter plane.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yes, grifter.
Watching the migration from the air.
Yeah. You did know that we gave him the call sign of grifter,
I got it.
which I quite like.
Top Gun.
There we go. All right. Good choice. I really like that one.
Yeah, thank you, Martin.
It's not interesting. It's a good choice. It's anyway, Victoria, your
This is-
number one historical event.
This is where I might be pushing the historical event bits a little bit. So
Martin.
my number one pick is Augusta, Sunday, April 13th, 2025.
Oh, Rory.
Yep.
Rory winning the Masters.
I know I watched it on TV, but I would absolutely love to have been there in person to see that.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it was such a roller coaster that last day. It was, that first 9 was absolutely tough to watch. And then bogeying 11 and 13 to see the last hole and know it was going to win a playoff. Oh my goodness. I just think standing under those trees, watching that would have been incredible.
I think watching the shot on 15 would be absolutely insanely incredible. I totally agree with you. And if you want more in-depth analysis of that night, it is available on an episode of In the Footsteps of Giants.
I was going to say, Victoria, imagine you were watching that exhausted and then you had to do a podcast after. Your poor son.
I know.
Dragged in. Come on.
Didn't have any choice. Johnny didn't have any choice.
I'll be honest, neither of us were overly sleepy at that exact moment. That was the biggest roller coaster. It's the only putt when he finally won the Masters that I didn't watch. I had my head in my hands and just waited. It would either be a big ooh or a big cheer.
Because that approach shot.
Oh, that was...
And then you're just getting ready for what comes next. And you're like, I can't watch it.
Well, considering you stuffed the approach shot the first time around and then doing it the second time. So, absolutely.
I think that would be all about the feeling in your stomach.
Yeah.
So it would, wouldn't it? You know, from the to the yay. That's all about the feeling rather than...
You probably get that in a good pickleball rally.
I do.
You get that feeling of, my backhand was off.
It just, you know, that it's a goosebump moment.
Yeah.
You know, the roar of the crowd when he sinks that putt and just falls to his knees. I just think, you know, and being from Hollywood as well, you know, there's a personal connection there.
I mean, I think it's a really good point, Victoria, because there are things in life that you wish you had gone to experience that feeling at the time.
What, like watching people walk north?
No, but that was more out of an educational aspect.
Okay.
I've done that.
Look at those genetics moving north.
But I'm talking about those sporting events where you did have the chance where you could have gone to it, but you didn't.
Yeah,
Well, you couldn't have gone to Augusta. You couldn't have got tickets.
See, this is...
I could have.
Oh, well then we'll talk afterwards.
Don't forget dinner party.
Oh yes, of course not. Yeah.
We've had this conversation many times about golf events. They're not great
No.
when you're there live.
No.
Thursday to Saturday, and you're sitting on the course and you're walking around, you hear a cheer, you haven't got Sky Sports to go, what happened there? Cut to that hole. I think Sunday, and Martin's going to challenge this, Sunday when you're there following Rory and you're following, because on the 15th when Sky Sports took the break and they just came back, and he was hitting the club 7 iron, you think, is he laying up? Is he going for it? Boom. 7 on that green. You didn't know. There wasn't any preparation for it. Sitting there live, good. I like it.
No, I would love to, and I think, but it's very, very difficult on a course like Augusta or anything else to follow a full round of golf. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You just can't stay close enough to the players. So the way I like to watch a pro golf tournament is frequently be there on the early days, see the cut, see people coming through, all the rest of it, maybe be there on the Saturday for moving day, and then be in a nice big armchair in front of the telly for the final round, because that way you get to see the tournament, but you've the experience of being out on the actual golf course. So again, I think whether it qualifies yet as a historical event...
I wonder why you're sticking on his watch there.
Historic versus historical.
That's true. It is now a historical event but I'll be honest, I would take your choice over watching people walk north. If I'm being honest.
He's only being biased because he's against me. I feel hurt.
That's a good pick. I like that.
I don't think so. Okay,
Here we go, number one.
It was
Should we
the
guess?
very, very first thing that popped into my mind. And
Lord Lorraine's
Weetabix.
release.
Yeah.
no,
Weetabix being made
no.
now.
Oh, the first box of Weetabix coming out. No,
His first orc figurine.
That film whenever you had to make the phone call to your mate to say, did he die?
Oh, Sauron or whatever.
oh, at least you were listening. But it was actually Gandalf. But anyway,
Sorry,
good
sorry,
effort.
the back
Good
end.
effort.
Aye.
The Mall on VE night in 1944 and before the war. But the reason, and it will be to stand at a particular tree at a particular point in the Mall on VE night, because then I could see my dad celebrate with his friends the end of the war in Europe.
Yeah.
And he was serving in military intelligence. He was a code breaker. And VE night, he told stories about what it was like on the Mall, and I know exactly where he was. And that would be my number one choice, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's see them take the mick out of that
We
tree.
can't really.
Oh, no.
really.
He's brought in his dad. We can't
We can't do that.
We can't- it is an
Typically,
actually,
if you hadn't
it's,
said your dad, would have been ripped
Oh,
right
no.
through it. But
it is actually an emotional choice. But
Yeah,
it
no,
is.
that's a good
It would
choice.
be a reason to be there to watch.
Do you have
to see
emotion?
that. I do.
oh, right when?
It's locked
I've never seen that.
deep down inside. You know, we don't want to take risks with things like emotion. But
How could you have coped with the crowd?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you
good question.
Don't like people, do you?
I would have been there early enough to get my spot and then just watch. and that would be fine.
Okay, you don't have to.
You
Speak
know,
to them.
and a lot of people, you know, I
What
mean,
if people
you,
have,
you
what
would
if
have
people
found
have
it,
come up and hugged you and all go, yay? Would you be? I could just see him doing the stop
Don't do
it,
hugs,
stop it,
no.
don't do hugs.
you know,
And Andy couldn't be there with you because it's London. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like London.
No.
no. But if he
Not
was,
not that you were looking
but if he
for
was,
it to
I'd
be
get
there.
30 quid off him.
His back pocket.
It's that simple. And then I'd look at everybody else. Oh, Andy's had his money nicked. Would you give him, would you all give him
What a memory.
2 quid back? 2
What
quid.
a memory.
You know, so
What a
that's,
skill.
that's the sort of thing that would happen. But anyway, listeners, we, as you know, send out and we frequently ask you for what you would have as for a historical event. Did any of our listeners respond this week?
And I don't
Gentlemen, you're tasked with doing so few things in this podcast.
I didn't really grab too many because I knew Victoria was coming. So she was the main listener today, and I wanted to give her top
Her place?
listener. Yeah.
Okay.
I do have some, and actually, I was so caught up in that I completely forgot. My brother messaged in, and he was corrected by one of the other people in this chat to say, I'd like to witness the Colosseum in Pompeii, brackets, fit them in the same day. Second, Battle of Britain from a cockpit. Third, moon landing as an astronaut. And then Peter McQuillan comes back and says, great choices, but Martin will claim you've technically chosen 4.
Brilliant.
He also said, third, Pete McQuillan said, building of the Egyptian pyramids, Battle of Hastings to see where the arrow actually hit Harold, and the
It's in the eye.
Normandy landings.
Ooh.
That was one that you had.
Oh, I know.
Well, I had mentioned, you see, there are things like that.
My
That is
husband
a
wanted to say that one.
phenomenal achievement. But do you want to be standing watching it live as
Yeah.
thousands of people die? It's one of those things that I thought about is, you know, the question was historical event you would have liked to witness live. So you're right there. And I don't think I would. I mean, I talked to not a technical uncle of mine, but a cousin who was just known as uncle.
Yeah.
And he had been evacuated at Dunkirk. And his stories of being evacuated at Dunkirk would not make you want to be there.
Yeah.
Well, even Saving Private Ryan, the opening
yeah.
scene,
Yeah.
the veterans who watched that just said the only thing missing from that was the smell.
Yeah.
Thomas Fagan messaged in the Rumble in the Jungle,
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Martin Luther King's speech,
Oh, well done.
and then
Good pick.
Champions League final Istanbul
It was
2005.
also on my husband's list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. See?
A lot of Liverpool supporters listening
Yeah,
to this
but that
podcast.
was the most amazing thing. 3-0 down, giving up everything to come back. I've never felt emotion like it, ever.
You were at the Real
What
Madrid.
about the birth of your children?
Sorry,
There's an
they're not
edit
really
point.
spectator sports, to tell you the truth. Don't
We
mind them
went
after.
to Istanbul on our honeymoon, and I was convinced I was going to we almost got dragged to the stadium.
The
just
Aztec.
Oh, you were in Istanbul time?
not at the same time
Oh,
as
right,
the match,
oh, right,
but
okay.
yeah, I was like,
What age do you think she is? And that is all
Yep.
our listener content.
All our listener, yeah.
Jeepers.
Did you know what?
Andy was on the far side of the table, just, you know, indicating that, you know, things were...
I thought actually it was one that our listeners didn't jump in as they usually do.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
very tricky category, as we have
Yeah.
proved, because you can go from the emotional response of seeing your father on the Mall and on VE night to
Sorry.
somebody sneezing in a cave, and then a few years later just watching a load of people walk north. I mean, quite honestly, I would have to say that today's has been the most varied Pick 3 show that we've done in quite some time. And you'll have to decide yourself, listeners, what's your own top 3. I can't recommend all of our choices. I have to say, I think Victoria approached it with the most professionally.
Yeah.
Andy did
Oh, no.
far better than I
Brace.
expected.
What a backhanded compliment.
And Gareth, you did not disappoint, which is whatever way we do it. But anyway, until we are back doing another episode of the podcast, my name is Martin.
My name is Gareth.
My name's Andy.
and my name's Victoria.
And Victoria is our very special guest for today. She may well be allowed back after such a sterling first effort. But first, the number one thing we have to now do is sneak out past a whole pile of dinosaurs. Andy, you go first because I don't like you that much.
I'll get past them easy, Martin.
If you see me running, keep up.
I would. Okay. Now, go. Run. Run.
Run.
Run. That was quite pathetic, actually.
was.
I'll have to add footsteps.
Is that how you run in pickleball?
Oh, exactly. Much faster.
We'll see you all again very soon.